All right, welcome back to part 2 of the EV Stop or Skip series. We are on our way back from Burlington to Brantford right now. We just had to drop one of our puppies off at the vet. Nothing to worry about, something routine. So I'm realizing that we're gonna need to charge before we head back to Burlington and then come back to Brantford again. We got some running around to do, some errands that we've got to run, and one of the stops we've got to make actually ties into one of the stops I wanted to feature in this series. So we're gonna get that while we're there. I'll see you when we get there. All right, well, we have arrived. This is the next station that we're going to be doing for episode 2 of EV Stop or Skip. All right, so if you want to come with me, we're going to hop out and see how easy this one is to use, get it all working. All right, so these ones are free of charge. It says to use the Flow app or tap, I guess, a card to start just to authorize it. So here in the app, you can see I've got it loaded up to where I am, hit charge. I've got AAB22645, which is this machine right here. I have noticed though that it is a J1772 connector, so I am going to need my adapter. So this time we're going to use the smaller adapter. Last time we used the CCS adapter. This is just to be able to go from J1772 to the NAX port. We learned last time, put the adapter in the gun first. Into the car, and start. Pricing set by station owner, so you can see this one is free of charge. And I just heard the car make its little charging starting noise. This says charge time and process 10 seconds. Energy transferred. It has started. So one of the cool things about this free charger is what's around. So I'm just gonna grab the camera from my camera woman here. So here we are. Here's the charger. We've got an entire strip mall here. You've got the bank, you've got a restaurant, you've got a beer store. There's actually an LCBO on the other side of the strip mall too, so you're covered for booze. We've got a Zayres, we've got a movie theater and a Dollar Tree, and off in the distance there is a Walmart. A little bit of a walk from the chargers, but I mean, you gotta leave the car to charge anyway, and it's free. You gotta go shopping, you gotta go groceries, you gotta go to Walmart, you wanna go to a movie, you wanna go to Zayres, you can charge your car for free while you do so. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, well, we've got some errands to run. We're gonna run into Walmart and we'll see where it's at when we come back. All right, so we've just gotten back to the car. Time elapsed 34 minutes. We've been gone for 34 minutes. It shows energy transferred 3.2 kilowatt hours, charging at a rate of 5.8 kilowatts. So it's charging somewhere between level 1 and level 2 speeds. If you're just going quick shopping and you got to go back home, it's pretty great. It got me, so when I pulled in, I had about 80 kilometers. It's showing 100 now without the climate control on, so it's put about 20 kilometers in there in half an hour. Definitely not bad. I mean, for just running around town, doing errands, and especially if you're going to charge at home as soon as you get home, definitely for a free charge, not bad. You've got what it took you to get to the store, if not more, put back in for free. We need a little bit more power to get back to Burlington and back to Brantford, so we're gonna sit here for a little bit longer, and I'll check in and tell you how long it took to get to about 115 kilometers is what I need. So we'll check back in and tell you how long it took to get there. All right, so we've actually done a couple other things here in this plaza while we've been waiting. Ran over to Zehrs and actually back to Walmart because we realized we forgot something. So we've been charging here for a total of 1 hour, 24 minutes. It has transferred 8.1 kilowatt hours into the battery, and it's showing a climate off distance of 123 kilometers. And I started, like I said, with about 80. So in about 1 hour and 25 minutes, we've got about 40 kilometers range. Definitely not bad. If you've come out shopping for the day, you've more than put in what it took you to get here. If you use this plaza, chances are you live in Brantford, live in the area. 40 kilometers is probably less than it took you to get here, and it's going to take you to get home. So for a free charge and for 1.5 hours to gain 40 kilometers, definitely not bad. Charging, so I imagine we just plug it. There we go. All right, debrief on episode 2. This one was a little more thrown together than the other one. I wasn't planning on doing it. We just happened to be going to where this charging station was and decided to take advantage of the situation. So I do apologize if the video is a little kind of thrown together and all over the place. But regardless, the station got reviewed. So this charging station is located in the Brantford Commons Plaza. It's obviously, you can see in the video all the things that are around it. It used to be where the Brantford Mall was. Then they moved the mall to Linden Park Mall, which I featured in my last video. And then, turned it into this giant kind of open air plaza. But yeah, still very frequented, still very popular. Which, you can see from my video all the things that are around this charging station. One of the biggest reasons, obviously, I wanted to feature this one is, again, because it is free. Not very many charging stations out there are going to be free. Obviously, even charging at your house, for as little as it's going to cost you, you still have to pay to charge at your house. But yeah, it's a really cool concept that this one's free. The plaza owner, I imagine it's Ryokan. Ryokan owns all the plazas where Walmarts are in Canada. So I imagine they find it worth it to provide this kind of service to the shoppers of their plazas. And again, I can't really disagree with them. It seems like a really cool idea. I mentioned that I got about 8 kilowatts in about 1.5 hours. So that would equate to 77 kilowatts in a little over 10.5 hours. So if true level 2 speeds get you 7 hours charging, 10.5, you're somewhere between level 2 and level 1. And so without further ado, time to grade this station. So this is going to be the same grading system as in last video. I'm going to rate each category out of 10 and then a total out of 30. So for amenities on this one, I got to give it a 10 out of 10. You've got a grocery store, you've got a Walmart, which I guess is technically 2 grocery stores. You got a movie theater, you got a dollar store, you got Shoeless Joe's, you got Eastside Mario's, you've got nail salons, you got glasses stores, you've got banks, you've got booze stores, you've got literally everything under the sun in this one plaza. There's also quite a few grassy areas closer to the Walmart. On the other side of the Walmart is a neighborhood, so it's not like it's busy on the other side. It's a big grassy hill, perfect for your pets. And then just the fact that there's a movie theater here, there's an Eastside Mario's where kids eat free, there's a Walmart, definitely better in terms of family atmosphere and places to go and things to do with your children while you're here charging. So yeah, amenities, definitely going to get a 10 out of 10. So the next category is ease of use. And this video is a lot shorter than my last one. And really mostly because of the ease of use. My last video was 20 minutes long. Yes, it involved a little bit of a pit stop with the food and all that kind of stuff, but still, that video was 20 minutes long. This one isn't going to be anywhere near as long, and most of that has to do with how difficult the last one was to get going. Again, some of that was user error, but it was mostly to do with the fact that Flo's station gave really no indication as to why it wasn't working. And then there was the whole Tesla station debacle in that video as well. This one you can see in this video, I walk right up to the station, I pull up the Flo app, I select the station I want, and I hit go. And it starts going right away. Again, I did have some familiarity with the Flo app at this point, but it was nowhere near as ambiguous as last time. It was literally just plug the car in, hit go on the app, and it started charging. So for ease of use on this one, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. And then the final category is going to be results. Obviously, for a free charge, and in the video, I'm talking about how great the result is. You got to take that with a grain of salt. It was a free charge, and I only needed to be there for a little bit, and I'm not on a road trip. I don't need a ton of power. I really just wanted to be able to recoup what I needed to be able to continue on with my day. In that case, it did a great job. If this was a sliding scale kind of thing, I would give it a 10 out of 10 for free. And the fact that I got 40 kilometers, great result. But just kind of in keeping with the fact that I'm expecting to see some really great results and really great chargers in this series, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10. Compared to my last one, I charged for only 45 minutes at that DC fast charging station, and I got about 160 kilometers. So again, the fact that it was free and the fact that I recouped my kilometers used for the day, that's a plus. But in the grand scheme of things, sitting there for an hour and a half and only gaining 40 kilometers range, that ain't going to cut it for most people. So in terms of result, we're going to give it a 3 out of 10. So final results for the Brantford Commons flow station is a 23 out of 30 to 76%. The passes, it's actually better than the one in our last station. Last one got the power in there a lot farther, gave us a lot more range. But in terms of things to do and ease of use, this one beats out. So just goes to show you, it's not all about how quickly the power gets into the car. It's about how enjoyable the experience is too. That's a lot of people's worry and anxiety with an EV, is how different their life is going to be and how annoying charging the car is going to be. This goes to show you it doesn't have to be. You can do it during your regular errands during the day. You can make a trip to this plaza specifically because you know it has a free charger. You can go for dinner, you can go to the movies. And now that we've reviewed the second station, here's the leaderboard. So I really hope a series like this gives you a little bit more of an insight into stations that are going to make your EV driving experience more pleasurable. Stay tuned for episode 3 of EV Stop or Skip. I'm Dan Finnemore.